Hey, do yourself a favor and just go ahead and skip to when the guitar playing starts, because I'm about to go on a fucking tangent. And in case you're curious, that is a nail file, seven-sided nail file for my nails. That's its own thing. But this is the end of the year. I'm recording this on December the 30th, the day before New Year's Eve. And it's typically a good time for reflection and goal setting and whatever type of nonsense one does at the end of the year. And this is I'm just gonna go at the top of the dome. Maybe I should make this guitar centric and not life centric. I don't know. I don't know, man. But a lot has happened in the last couple of years, 5 years, all the YouTubes and all that. And what I typically find for myself in the last 5 years is that almost all of my shortfalls and shortcomings and difficulties, man, damn near all of them are my own doing. I always feel like something's hindering me, something's in the way. Oh, it's I'm too poor, I don't have any money, people don't like me, I'm old, I'm washed up, whatever. But just like a whole laundry list of things where I'm like, if these things weren't happening, I would have a better life. Not that my life's bad, but I think a lot of us think that way. We're like, if I didn't deal with this boss or this coworker, if I didn't have these bills to pay or illnesses in the family or whatever it is, because there's always shit going on. It always feels like, man, if only that shit was not here, I would be living the best life ever. And I'm just outside of very extreme circumstances, right? If you're being abused, you're being traumatized, you're going through some very significant outlier shit. Obviously, life would be better without that. But I think for the majority of us in like our standard deviation, the middle 80%, 70%, 60%, I think it's just like a habit of hope. I think our difficulties give us hope in a way, because you hope you don't work that job. You hope you have more money. You hope you don't deal with that asshole. And that gives you a feeling that like one day that situation will be rectified and things will be better. I can't speak for you. I can't put words in your mouth. But after all this time, man, almost still, it's still just me being in the way. Let's make it a guitar thing. I'm guessing you're guitarist because you're here for Ichika Nito, which I bait and switched you. We're gonna watch the Ichika Nito compilation video, but the idea that if I had a better guitar, if I had better camera equipment, better processor, better this, better that, or if I fixed my technique, I was a little faster, I was a little cleaner. If I could do some of this crazy tapping shit, I would be living a different life. It's like, man, I don't think so. I don't, not really. Sure, you'd have some extra skills in your bucket of tricks. You'd have that's a fucking cool guitar we're seeing right here. Ichika with his, whatever that is, bazillion string guitar. I've actually already seen this one. I'm not going to count them. I'm guessing it's something stupid, like it's at least 10 strings. But I don't know if this is time or place, but I'm going to shit it on you. I'm going to shit it all over your face, and if you don't like it, that's cool. It's just how I feel. It doesn't have to be well received. But I don't think you need to wait to be better or wait for a better opportunity. Just throw your shit out there. Throw your music out there. Throw your creations out there. I'm not saying anything crazy like quit your job and borrow $50,000. I'm not saying any of that shit. I'm just saying, like, with what you currently have in front of you, start doing. Because you might be good, but who gives a fuck if you're good? People might resonate with you. And you may be capable of a lot of things that you haven't given yourself credit for because you haven't giving people the opportunity to say you're good at it. I am terrible at a lot of things, and I make a lot of videos that are complete piles of shit. And this video may be one of those videos. I won't know, right, until I post it and then see the comments and the downvotes, and I won't know. I don't know if this is a great video or a shitty video. I have no clue. But, man, if there's anything you want to do, that, from my perspective, if you don't have to like risk your whole life. I mean, if you've already got a guitar or you sing or you play, whatever the fuck it is you do, if you already have it in front of you, however shitty it may be, man, make something and put something out, because you may be, I hate the word special, but you might be special. I think typically none of us are special, but you might be special. And until you ship it, you don't know. People may like you for a reason that you don't see coming. They might just be waiting for someone like you to make something. And so, if you have, I'm not telling you to create if you don't want to create. But if you're someone that thinks about creating, man, fuck it. Let them shit on you. Let them fucking hate it. You'll get good feedback. And the law of numbers, a couple of you are going to be special. I still hate that word. So yeah, life is fucking tough. It's terrible. None of us survive. We all know that cliche. No one gets out of life alive. But instead of waiting for a better opportunity or a better moment, or someone to rep you, someone to sponsor you, someone to collaborate with you, man, if you make trash, well, then just make trash. Make some trash and fucking ship it. The process will teach you about yourself. I've been very surprised on things that I've done that have gone well, and very surprised on the things that have gone terribly. It's kind of like a sports team where you're like, oh, they want to lose for XYZ reasons, a draft pick or something like that. But it's like, competitors don't want to lose. They want to compete. Owners might want to lose. Sponsors might want you to lose. Outside third parties may want you to do something. But the actual participants don't want to lose. I was hoping it's going to be like motivational in a way and inspiring. I don't think I quite tapped that. Don't go crazy. Sorry, my personal opinion. Don't go crazy. Don't go bankrupt. Although some people spin those wheels and they take off. But it's like, man, if you can test out who you want to be for relatively cheap, fucking test it. Like, why not? Why not? Oh, I'm ugly. Yeah. Hey, guess what? Most of us are fucking ugly, or fat, or washed up, or bad gear, bad sound, not creative enough, or we're making music and it's not cool enough. Yes. Yeah, that's the fucking name of the game. Like, most of us are not good enough to do any of the things we actually set out to fucking do when it comes to breaking paradigms. We're all good enough to deliver food. I can deliver food. I do Uber during game day weekends and stuff like that. We're all good enough for that. So, like, give yourself a shot, man. You might be a pile of fucking shit. And if you are, maybe a year or two from now, you won't be. Give yourself a fucking shot. From a washed up dude. Washed up. Anyways, Ichika Nito. This is such a fucked up way to start a video. Ichika's always amazing. We always know that. I'm pretty sure I saw this. This is like a year ago, maybe. Let's fucking go. Okay, I don't know if I noticed this before. I think he's kind of playing it like a slide guitar. He's taken, I don't know, 5th fret, 7th fret, 12th fret. Definitely got an open tuning going on. So in slide tuning, you have like your chords you can rely on your 5th and 7th and 12th, 4, 5, 1. I think he's kind of doing that and then going back to his shredding on the strings he can reach. Interesting to me. All right, that's savage, but also, I'm just gonna stay in my head. This guitar, I don't know if you guys have seen the old harp guitars where all the bass strings you couldn't fret them; they were just like droning. I never played one, but you have a bunch of. Sorry, I'm stammering and stuttering. But there's a bunch of bass strings that you hit as open notes, but you couldn't fret them because there was no neck underneath those notes. I think he's actually playing this like those. And because strings have harmonics regardless of whether or not they have frets. That has nothing to do with that. The harmonics are like a physics relationship. You know, they're 1/4, 1/3, 1/2 of the string. They're at like node points physically on a string. No fretboard required. I think he's kind of playing it like that. And then shredding on the 6 or 7 strings that are closest to the bottom of the fretboard. Wow, let me make everything not fun. Okay, I think it tracked his descending bass motion pretty fucking cleanly. Okay, let's also make this a nerd video. I was going to say you don't care. You probably don't care. But I have extensive knowledge of fingerpicking and playing with one's fingers. So right here, Ichika has got his pinky braced underneath the middle pickup of the guitar. And people will frown on that because when you brace on a guitar with your hand, every time you brace, you limit, in a sense, you limit the motion your hand has because once you start placing weight on something, it limits your motion, right? If you stand on one leg and someone comes and kicks your leg, you definitely fucking fall. If you're on 2 legs, you don't fall as much. So I get that that's an issue for some people, but I think it makes complete sense here. It's stabilizing his right hand so he can do cleaner and more accurate fingerpicking. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because when you go to look for like tips and tricks and tutorials, and someone who's like a fucking virtuoso goes, never plant your index finger. It's like, well, why are they saying it? And why are you doing it? If someone's playing the hardest shit on fucking earth, then maybe bracing their hand limits their ability to do the hardest things that exist within a genre. But if you're just trying to like clean up the accuracy of your right hand, bracing makes complete sense. Also, you don't need that much flexibility in your right hand on an electric, in my opinion, because the sound is not that crazily different from the neck to the bridge. It is different, but it's not anywhere near as pronounced, in my opinion, as when you're playing an acoustic instrument. Plus, brace if you need to play well. Because if you're going to play shitty music, nobody cares anyways. So if you have to compromise some sound to brace, it's better to brace and play well than to not brace and play poorly. It's fucking awesome. Also, his bracing of the pinky does not seem to limit his right hand to jumping up and tapping wherever the fuck he wants. So it could just be also like a habit you form in years prior. So like you were bracing with your pinky a long time ago, and now your skill has changed, but you still brace because it's a habit. But apparently, that shit don't matter to him. Is that a minor 11? What is that? Minor 11 chord? I can't tell. No, it looks the bass is lower. So it's a major 7 sharp 11. I'm just looking. My ear's not that good. What? Dude, I've not seen this one. That's fucking crazy. It reminds me of like Victor Wooten triplets, but dude, that's fucking so goddamn good. I mean, everybody knows that. I didn't know it. I hadn't seen it. So we're gonna move on to the. What was it? Was a solid top nylon? I just saw it for a second. You watched me just see it for a second. Is it sped up? Nope, it's not sped up. God damn. I'll tell you probably the first thing I noticed, which is probably not interesting to you, is he is doing a slap with the pick. And I think what he's doing is actually grabbing... Man, I got no electric plugged in. So what I think he's doing is actually reaching under the string, but with a pick, which I'm not sure I've seen. So, right, so... Like bass player. Although I don't think bass players do that on the first string. They do on the first and second string. But I think he's actually digging his pick in and ripping the string upward. What? Shout out, that bass is fire, his playing's fire. It kind of reminds me of like Just the Two of Us. That bass is that like a Spectre or something? I'm probably very, very wrong, but that shit is whatever. Go ahead, Ichika, do you. I have maybe the lamest thing. Oh shit, he's doing it right here. The thing I was gonna say, he's doing it right here. I'm not sure if he's doing the same chord, but he's doing the same fingering. Is on his minor sevens. Sorry, people that don't play guitar or whatever. Yeah, we're in tune. So like his minor sevens, he's doing this 4-finger voicing. Which a lot of, if you're like playing slow jazz, you just, unless you're gonna like move a chromatic note around, so like I don't know what that'd be. Right? But on all of these, he's never barring. I'll say never. I didn't see him bar. So he's always choosing to do this 4-finger version where he could bar. But he's doing 4 fingers, I think, because it makes his fingers aren't as weighted down with the bar. And so he can fly around and do crazier shit because he's not having so much weight depressed on one finger. That would be my guess. It is sticking out to me, though, how many times he's not barred any of those. Bars can slow you down. There's always a trade-off. Economics. There's no such thing as a free lunch. I think he might be doing it all the time. He plays a lot of major 7 chords on the 5th string. I kind of want to go back, but I'm not going to. I'm sure he's going to do it again. But maybe he's also never bar, which you don't need to bar on the major 7 chord when you're starting on 5 strings. But it's a habit. It's a habit as a guitar player to bar. Maybe he's intentionally choosing not to. Well, of course it's intentionally. He's always intentionally doing whatever the fuck he's doing. The question is like, why is he making that choice? Dude, he is like never barring. Maybe it's like when you like learn a new word, you see it everywhere. You buy a car, you see the same car everywhere. I'm just now thinking like maybe he just rarely bars. That's gotta be the 12th fret with the fan frets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it's like playing slide fucking guitar, but fancier on a much more expensive instrument. Yeah, and then when you have that many strings, there are things you gain, right? So if you're gonna play, now I'm selling myself my own idea of the 12th, 5th, and 7th fret harmonics. Is that by having that many strings, you have way more access to chords using only 3 positions. That makes a lot of sense. And he's tagging harmonics, right? But the cool part with, especially with an instrument that's going to be hard to fret on, right? Because most of your power is going to be generated from the thumb. And so when you have a neck that wide, it's going to be hard to have consistent, maybe impossible to have consistent power across the neck because it's just too wide for your thumb to be helpful. But you can definitely always use harmonics because you don't need to squeeze the strings. You just need to create that little node point, right? It doesn't matter. Like, we hold a guitar like this, it doesn't fucking matter, right? I don't have to squeeze because I'm just dividing the string. And you can do it, right? There's no squeezing necessary. Do one finger in there. Not that I'm dope. I'm just saying that that's how it works. You don't need any squeezing. That's a really inventive way, I think, to get around a super giant neck that is unsqueezable. Too much girth. That's what's happening. I don't know if you can hear it. There's static in the background, which I think he intentionally put, like a little bit of static, like lo-fi. No! Hold on! Dude, I'm so fucking nerdy. Watch these chords. Not here. Here. On those chords, he's still not barring. He's actually playing the chords and choosing not to bar. He's going to hit less notes. So instead of... Right, we're playing 6 strings. And you're barring, so the barring is taking care of the 2 top strings. Instead, he's just playing 4. It looks like a bar. I mean, it is a bar shape. He's just not barring. And he's doing that on the low 7th and 8th string. But it's letting his index finger be more mobile. If you look, what are the giveaways? Depending on how closely you're looking, the shadow. And also, if you see any angle in this knuckle right here, that's the giveaway that someone's not barring. It looks the same from far away, right? But look at how even the shadow on the top of my finger changes from barring to not barring. This motherfucker doesn't ever want to bar unless he absolutely has to. I think I'm going to steal that approach. I always thought, like, well, if you can bar, just go ahead because it gives more stability to your hand on the fretting side. Not speed-wise, but fretting side, because when you bar, it brings all the strings closer to the frets. So as far as the distance your fingers travel to smack the strings down, when you're barring and you do things like across the bar, the bar has actually lowered the strings down. You do sacrifice on the mobility of your left hand when you do that. But he's taking it to a whole fucking other level. He's like, I gotta have mobility because I'm gonna do some ridiculous spaceship stuff. And spaceships don't come equipped with rearview mirrors. They dip. Where'd the harmony come from? His pinky's gorgeous. Definitely never seen that one. This, what the fuck is this? That. Oh, it's a super skinny guitar. Shame on me. I never seen that motherfucker. I gotta nerd out for a second. I'm gonna go back when he's playing those harmonics, where he's... I forgot my vocabulary. The harmonics where you play them this way. Artificial? But he was actually shaking the vibrato, and I wanted to see if I could hear vibrato in the notes. Cause I'll steal that shit too, motherfucker! It's from the old school jazz days. Like, you don't want me to steal it, don't play it. Right here, right here. I'm not sure if I heard that much vibrato. Maybe I'm just a hater. Oh, it has to work. I guess just the question is how much vibrato you're getting from that left-right movement. Because once you hit it, it's got to still keep working. Let's experiment. Let's pick a pretty decent note. All right. We got this D. I don't know if I'm in tune. But let's pluck it. But definitely when you pluck it, well, there's no way y'all can hear that. But definitely up and down you get it, but left to right. Well, he's on a nylon. Left to right works way better on a nylon than a steel string. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, Ichika. I think a lot of that shit is probably super fast triplets hammering on from an open string, which is kind of similar to that. Whatever, nobody cares anymore. There's nobody here. It's just me. Well, then if it's just me, I'll talk for fucking me. So the same way you play slide guitar on an open tuning, focusing on the 5th, 7th, and 12th, because those are the predominant chords, 1, 4, 5, and a key, but also they give you harmonics that are chords. If you tune on an open tuning, so now, right, everything is related chordally, right? Where if you play an open guitar, E, A, D, G, B, E, you don't get an open chord. Well, maybe you do, but it's a chord no one would ever use. You can start doing hammer-ons. You can do triplets, where the first note is the open string, and then you're only using 2 fingers to complete a triplet sound, which really makes you tremendously faster, because instead of relying on 3 fingers for a triplet, you're relying on 2 fingers. So you've cut the workload down on your hand tremendously. Do I have a cool example of that? Probably not. Probably not, but let's fuck it. So now I'm in D. So now the A is the 5th, right? Then very, very, very simple. 0, 3, 5. But now 0, 3, 5 and 0, 3, 5 is all kind of part of the same key. But I only have to play 4 notes with my fingers, my left hand, to have 6 notes for my triplets. Triplet, 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 triplet. Right? And because I'm hammering on, my right hand is doing, like, for my 6 note triplets or my sextuplets, I'm only doing 2 attacks with my right hand, 4 depressions with my left hand to have 6 notes. So for 6 sounds, 2 on my right, 4 on my left gives me 6 sounds. It's just a smart way of approaching speed. If you can't be the fastest person on earth, then change what you're doing to allow the speed you have to sound like something different. Let's keep nerding. Oh, nothing else matters. I remember this. Is this gonna copyright me? That's fucking... Okay, one last nerd thing before he wraps this up, because who knows if this is going to get copyrighted or destroyed. It's one of my favorite nerd things of all time. When a guitarist has an amazing pinky, I always lose my shit, because it's I don't know if it's one of the hardest things to do. It's definitely hard, but also there's no reason really to be exact with your pinky on your fretting hand, because you can get away with a lot of bullshit. And so when I see people with really good curved attacking pinkies, I'm like, this person really pays a lot of attention to what they do. And you can be fantastic with a shitty pinky. They cut your pinky off, you could still be a millionaire. But like, I always just go like, that's someone who does the extra work, just because that's what they're about. Well, I guess if you've made it through all that, I guess I should show you what I think a cool pinky looks like, because I was destroyed in front of a whole seminar full of guitar players for having a shitty pinky. And I got taught that in front of a group of people performing live. And my instructor, professor, being like, what the fuck's wrong with your pinky? This, so look, I'm supporting the guitar right here, right? So look at this. It's a little curve, right? Seems pretty normal. But when you typically play electric guitar, definitely electric guitar, and if you do kind of electrical shit on an acoustic, what happens is you start favoring your index and second finger, and your hand begins to tilt. You get this look instead of this look, which is fine, but what happens is you end up shredding with these fingers. So instead of stretching with your pinky, you just reach out further with your third and second finger, right? You start doing that shit instead of pinky stuff. And the reason is, when you tilt your hand this way, you really sacrifice the ability of your pinky to actually have any power. Also, it can't reach because it's so far away, and you'll see the pinky going straight. But as you curve, you can still spread out. Sorry, I'm just supporting the guitar this way. You can still spread, but you're retaining the ability of your pinky to have power. And like, what the fuck do I want my pinky to have power for? It's because all of your hammer-ons and pull-offs require power. I like to think of a hammer-on or pull-off, I'm sure I stole this from somebody, is when you hammer on and pull off, you are supplying the power with your fingering hand, your left hand, that would have been supplied with your right hand. So if you were like, you play two notes and you pick them both, right? My right hand is picking both. I'm activating the string with my right hand. But if I only play one note and I hammer on and pull off, all of the energy that's keeping the string vibrating is now being supplied with just the left hand. And so if you want pull-offs that are clear and hammer-ons that are clear with your pinky, you need to be able to supply adequate power with your pinky to the other digits. And I think outside of an electric guitar would sustain, electric guitar with sustain and distortion, you probably do anything you fucking want. But when you get outside of that, I think you'll find that if your form is really fucked up, that you won't have the ability to do like really clear legato with your pinky. I don't know if that fucking matters, but that's just kind of what happens. Hell yeah! I managed to turn a fucking 10-minute video into 44 minutes. What a great way to wrap up 2023. You be good to yourself. You take care of yourself. You do whatever makes sense to you, and be just nice to yourself if that's what makes sense to you. I think I've earned the right. I'm gonna go fuck myself. Later.